Blessings to you, friends. Good morning to you all. So, real quick message. This morning, I saw this video, and it looked like it was a praise team, a children's youth group, doing a praise dance at the front of the church, and apparently there's this song. Well, it's Marvin Sapp's "Never Would Have Made It," but it sounds like they remixed it or something, and they've tacked to the end of Marvin Sapp's song. What I know as the beat from Trillville's "Some Cut." So if you don't know what Trillville's song is, I'm not imploring you to go and look it up, but many of us who came out, who were around when that song came out, know that it's a song that has nothing to do with God. And even though it was just the beat, for me, I know where I was when Trillville song "Some Cut" came out. I know where I was when the beat dropped on that song. So it doesn't matter to me if you take a beat from a secular song and tack it to a gospel song and play it at church. Even if I'm sitting at church, what I'm going to hear when the beat drops is, I'm not even going to say the lyrics because I just won't. But if you know the song, then you know what the lyrics are. You know what you hear as soon as the beat drops. So that's all that comes to mind when I hear this like remix or whatever. It doesn't bring me into a place of holiness, into a place of worship. It takes me back to wherever I was when that beat used to drop. Same thing with this. There's a song, one of Keith Sweat's songs, used to be one of my favorite songs, R&B song, and like Dave, now people are singing it in church, changing the words to make it about God. And I'm just really confused by this whole this whole reasoning, this whole, especially for the children, because Proverbs 22:6 says we're supposed to train up a child in a way he should go, and when he is old he won't depart from it. So how are we training? There is this notion of kids need to be engaged. We need to do some more to engage the children. Why do we have to engage children by compromising the fact that holiness is still the standard? Because I feel like that is what's really happening, is that we're trying to do so much to engage the children that we are really compromising what is holy to God. Most of these kids don't know nothing about Trillville, but what I feel very confident of is that the adults probably came from an era where that Trillville song came out. So again, maybe this is just me. I don't know how they can hear that beat and not think about the words in that song or where they were when that song came out. So the question I have is this really about trying to engage the children? Or is this really about the adults who are wanting to straddle the fence, who don't know if they're really in or out, who don't really want to give up the things of the world? So these are things that we really need to be asking ourselves, especially when we're working with the babies, working with these very impressionable children. Are we really doing a disservice to these kids by basically intermingling um like the profane with what's supposed to be holy? Holiness is still the standard, and this is what we're supposed to teach children. And this is why I say, even for me growing up, like I grew up in church. um that really wasn't an option. So I feel like a lot of these kids get a lot of options. For me, we were in church because my parents said that's what it was going to be. So that gave me a foundation for like part of who I am with God. So as I got older, I came into like another relationship, a real relationship with God. But I thank God for the foundation that my parents gave me, in trying to show me what holiness was and trying to introduce me to the God of the Bible. And then like I had my own journey when I really came into life, and I had my real encounter with God. But I don't ever remember, and I have to go back and ask my mom, I don't ever remember us doing things where it was like a compromise. It was, the songs that we were singing were about Jesus. The songs that we were singing were about God and about the Bible. It was scripture. So I just feel like we're living in a time where we are willing to compromise so much. Like who are we fooling? Like The reverence for God is what has grieved me so much, is that it seems to get less and less as the days go on, and we want to call things that are right wrong and wrong right, and we want to hand this to God as a sacrifice and think that he's just going to accept it. Are we serious? So let me know your thoughts, because it's a praying time. It's always a praying time. But when you start really, these babies are impressionable. And if you're working with children, you really have an accountability, especially to make sure you are not leading them astray. Be blessed.